The tutorial that we'll be doing today involves us taking a drawing that we've done in our sketchbook and turning it into an illustration that we can use as a logo. I'm going to make a new document, File, New. I'm going to name it Glass Logo, and I'm just going to use the defaults here, work on an A4 sheet of paper. I want to place an image, File, Place, and I'm going to place an image that I took with my camera and emailed to myself from my sketchbook. Okay, now the image I'm going to concentrate on is this little one here. So I don't want to be moving this about, so I want to make a new layer and lock this layer down. Click over here to my layers palette to make a new layer. Click here, and that's layer 1, which has got my drawing from my sketchbook on it, and layer 2 where I'm going to create my artwork. I'm going to lock that layer by clicking here. You can see the padlock. That means I can't move or add anything to this layer. I'm going on layer 2. I'm going to zoom in using Control+, and again I'm moving about using the space bar. Today I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm going to be using Bezier curves, and this gives us really excellent mathematical curves whenever we're working. Okay, now it's a little bit difficult to get used to using the pen tool, but it's well worth doing because it gives you more control than any other way of making lines. So I'm going to click, and I'm dragging out the line. Can you see these anchors as I'm moving around? Okay, dragging it out, and I'm just clicking and dragging. Now it doesn't matter too much at this stage if I get the lines in the wrong place, because it's all editable and it can all be moved about. Now as you can see here, I've actually got a fill and a line. Now I only want a line at the moment, so I'm going to go in to my swatches, click on this here, and white box with a red line through it, which gives me no fill. Okay, back in here, I'm just going to continue clicking and pulling. Now when I'm doing a line with the curves, I try to make as few nodes, which are these things, as possible. It keeps it cleaner and you get a smoother curve. If you start having too many nodes, your curve can start to get distorted. Okay, so it's just a case of trying to create the line with as few marks as possible. And again, we remember that we can come and we can change anything. So we're trying to get it right, but we're not being obsessive about getting everything exactly where it should be. Okay. I'm going to do some of this text first, then I'll come back in and finish it. We're doing this with one continuous line, then we're going to add to that line in the end. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not doing the bottom of the A just now, I'm just doing the top of the A, and I'm going to stop this at the C. I want to just come up here with a little curl. Okay, once I've finished that shape, I want to be starting a new pen line, although maybe what I'll do in this instance is just finish this line up. I don't want to do that. Actually, I'll finish with a new pen line. So I click on the selection tool, and then I click on the pen line again, and now I can actually go in here and just finish off this curve. Okay, as you can see, I'm just clicking and pulling, clicking and pulling, clicking and pulling. Hold Shift, it keeps the lines horizontally constrained. Okay, again I want to have a new pen line, so click on the selection tool, then click on the pen tool again. I'm going to start here now. I can click on there. I want to click a little bit below it, because if I click there I just add into that path, and I don't want to do that. So I'm clicking just a little below, and I'm starting my line, which is going to become the C and the final swirl. As you can see, I'm clicking and pulling again, clicking and pulling, And these lines are looking nice and swirly. Okay, I want another line, so clicking on the pen line, and again I don't want it to be completely on because that just adds the line into it. I'm just forming the G, and I can anchor it here, intersect it here. Again, another pen line to finish off the A. Okay, I've just got another couple of pen lines to put in. I want to just change this one a little bit. I want to actually have it start inside the other G, and I'm just going to pull it round here, finish off with this fancy swirl. And again, we're just pulling, clicking and pulling. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with all those lines in now. The next thing I'm going to do is just tidy up some of the lines and join the lines together that need to be joined together. I'm not convinced by this, so I'm going to smooth it out a little, round it off. I'm going to join it. As you can see, when I snap to the path, you can see that it clicks on the word path, and we know that it's anchored to where the path is. I'm just going to do that with the A. Okay, just anchoring it to the path. Again with the C. I'm going to pull this out to smooth it a little bit, and pull this up here. Okay, this line here I think needs to be pulled out a little bit. I think it comes up too abruptly. And as you can see, it's also editable. And you can decide what to do. You can play about with the curves, thinking, do I want that to come in a little bit? Is it too dramatic? How's that curve looking? Here, do I want to bring that out a little bit, even it up? And then you can bring that in here a little more, if you don't want it to be overlapping onto that loop. I actually quite like this loop overlapping here. I think it looks quite nice. We get interesting shapes. I'm just going to bring down this G a little bit. I think it's sitting too high. I'm going to bring that out to make it more curved. And I'm going to bring it down here just to make it more curved at the bottom. Okay. Now I'm quite happy with that. I think it's doing what I want it to do. It's not exactly the same as the sketch underneath, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm going to end the tutorial here, and I'll move on to the next tutorial to tell us what to do once we've done this. I'm going to just save the file. So File, Save, and I'm going to call it Classy Logo Line, and I'm just saving it as an Illustrator file. Okay, and that is us.